Diamond Dragon Friday. We're back. We're back. Yes. There's a ton of sports news we have to get to. I want to just jump right into it. The under's going to hit today. I believe we're 3-0 the last 3 Fridays. I expect to keep going. Flaming's going to let us know what the line is set at. I want it low. I want the over-under low, and I want the expectations high. Ooh, those are the two things that I want. All right, we're digging in. We're doing the numbers. We're putting the math and the science together. Fantastic show for you today. We got live calls today. Going to start taking those at 7:30 a.m. Central, 8:30 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you give us a call, 1-855-236-3228. The lines get jammed up, so you may want to call a little bit earlier because we're super duper excited to hear from you guys. A ton going on. Let's just go ahead and get into it, fellas. Great to be back live. The Big Ten, we all know it's crazy. Going to talk about that. Super Regionals, going to talk about that and everything else that's going on in the sports world. But like we said, it's great to be back live with the Booster Club. It's an emotional time, so let's get ready. The Big Ten Conference announces its plan to scrap divisions while keeping 11 protected matchups. The Heat enter Game 4 of the NBA Finals down 2-1, and the PGA Tour, as we all know, forms a new partnership with Saudi Arabia that warrants many questions. I'm Jay Crain, and we're back live, baby. This is Crain and Company. Now, the Big Ten may be the second best conference on the field in football here lately, but when it comes to the new 2024 scheduling format or their Flex Protect Plus, they now have the best scheduling format around as we look toward the future. Now, they scrapped divisions and they kept their 9-game in-conference schedule, but they added the protected games against rival opponents. Now, having said that, there's still some flexibility, which is a must as the ever-changing landscape of college football continues to shift right before our eyes. Now, the SEC recently went halfway there, announcing they'll also scrap divisions once Texas and Oklahoma jump into the league, but they didn't go as far as adding that 9th in-conference schedule game. Now, there's no such thing as an even or fair schedule, regardless of the format. That'll never happen. It's just the nature of the beast. But as we sit here today, the Big Ten is the closest thing we have to the perfect scheduling formula. Now, the protected games didn't save every traditional game or bring back some traditional games, but when it comes to the moneymaker games, the conference didn't miss. And you got to admit, everyone was tired of not seeing the 2 best teams play for the Big Ten title, as the Big Ten West lately has been weaker than a one-arm weightlifter. So don't look now, but the Big Ten is actually leading from the front. Ooh. I know, I said it.
Boy.
All right, I said it. Y'all know me. Y'all know how I feel about the SEC. I'm going to go ahead and bring in, speaking of the Big Ten, former Big Ten quarterback, Michigan quarterback, David Williford Cohn. And we all know on Friday who's sitting to my right.
This is flaming chocolate.
How do you, Sensei?
Like a circle.
Never.
1.5.
1.5.
1.5.
Good.
1.5. So we're going to roll with today.
The over, I never thought.
The Booster Club has spoken.
The over.
It's etched in stone.
The over I never thought would hit was being called Williford.
Yeah.
But that's, I'll accept that.
You got some Williford in you.
Just off major pain, it kills me every time I even mention it. But I want to get your reaction first, Dave, because obviously you played in the conference, and we've talked a lot about the SEC scheduling, and we're seeing these conferences really get rid of divisions. That's kind of the new flex. But just your overall thoughts kind of on the announcement.
Well, this is the direction that college football is heading. We've seen it with the ACC, and now the SEC is announced, and now look at the Big Ten is going to scrap divisions, which it seems counterintuitive. You would think the more teams that come into a conference, that's when you would actually need divisions, right? So that you can figure out, crown a true champion easier. But I do like the fact that more of these universities are going to play against each other. We've talked a long time about the fact that University of Georgia really hasn't gone out to play Texas A&M since they've been in the conference. That's not right. And when I was playing in the Big Ten at Michigan, I got to go to every single stadium in the Big Ten except for Indiana's because I didn't travel as a freshman. That was a great experience. I'm glad I got to go play at Iowa and Wisconsin and at the Buckeyes. So I think that it's going to be interesting how they do it with USC and UCLA both coming into the fold. And I do like the fact that they have protected games. Let's just mention them real quick. Michigan, Ohio, obviously. UCLA, USC coming into the Big Ten, that will remain a protected game. Minnesota, Wisconsin. Indiana, Purdue, in-state rivalry. Michigan State, Michigan, that's an in-state rivalry that will remain. You have Iowa, Minnesota, Illinois, Northwestern, Iowa, Nebraska, Maryland, Rutgers, Iowa, Wisconsin, and Illinois, Purdue will remain protected games. So the most interesting part of this for me, obviously, you guys know how I get every Thanksgiving. Michigan, Ohio, that's the biggest game of the year for me. It's an emotional time. Same day as the Iron Bowl for you guys. I don't have to tell you about it. But what it means now is that the Wolverines and the Buckeyes could play back-to-back potentially, especially the way we've seen going here. Michigan and Ohio both made the college football playoff a year ago. That could be a back-to-back matchup now because it's always going to be played at the end of the season, and now you could play it for the Big Ten championship. How do you guys feel about that? And if that becomes the scenario for Auburn and Alabama to play in the Iron Bowl Thanksgiving week and turn right around and play for the SEC championship, does that dilute the rivalry because now you've played more than once in a year, or is it just better to play that team as many times as possible?
To me, I think you want the two best teams playing in that conference championship game. And when you look at not having divisions, see, the part that I like the most is that when you have divisions, you're only limited to a certain amount of teams and a certain amount of matchups that you can actually have in the conference championship game. And when it comes down to that last game being diluted, I don't think so. I watched Auburn beat Georgia, I'm trying to remember, the thing was 2017, in Jordan-Hare, then have to play them 2 weeks later in the conference championship game. I think it'll add a totally different element to it. I think it'll add a better element to it. But I'm like in college basketball, in the SEC. You know, there are no divisions. Okay, I know you have a conference tournament there at the end, but you can really crown a true regular season champion. And when you look at the postseason play, now it's no longer, oh, well, this team has to come from the East, this team has to come from the West. Big Ten's the best example there is, I think, in college athletics right now. Nobody is going to sit here and argue that Ohio State and Michigan haven't been the two best teams in the Big Ten. At the end of the regular season, the two best teams should play in the conference championship game, and that's what we're going to get. Now, when it comes to the protected games or the Flex Protect Plus, I just feel like that guy from Flex Seal is going to come here and try and sell me on it, or that's some, Tom Selleck's going to get on there with a mustache, or William Devane. Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. It's like a warranty on top of something. But I like it because we talk about the SEC, right, as the permanent rivals, all right? Are you going to do 3? How's it going to work? This is kind of a flavor of that. It's not exactly that, but it is protecting the main games. You're not going to be able to protect every game, but there's no such thing as an even schedule. There's no such thing as a balanced schedule. The closest you can get is to sit here and say, we're going to keep the rivalry games, which are your moneymakers, which are the big ones, and we're going to be able to have the ability to go to each away stadium. Teams are going to be able to play each other home and away over a 4-year career. That's the most even you can possibly get it. I think the Big Ten right now, as I said, I think it's a home run, and they're going to remain flexible, which you have to, right? You have to. But flaming, I mean, your thoughts on it?
Yeah, one, quit calling me flaming.
No,
you're just call me Flaming Dragon.
You're
ruining the entire experience.
Okay, Marie Antoinette.
The Flaming Dragon, that's all it is. Look, I know you're a French spy. Just say my name correctly. Thank you. Look, nothing's going to be perfect, but I do agree that the best teams should play in the conference championship. I don't want to watch Michigan, after playing a phenomenal game with Ohio State, go beat up their little brother in Purdue by 40 points.
Michigan State's the little brother.
Whatever. Basically, everybody other than Ohio State's y'all's little brother in that conference, all right?
Lately.
So look, I understand it. I get it. It makes sense. Protect certain games, protect certain rivalries. The best two teams should play, even if that's Auburn playing Alabama twice, even if it's Auburn playing Georgia twice, which sucks. I get it. It's not a fun situation. Would I rather go play a South Carolina or something like that? 100%. but I get it. It makes sense. It's better for the fans. It's better for the conferences. I think it's better for the team.
See, now you say, well, it sucks to have to go play them. I'm not thinking about it from that aspect as much as does it dilute the rivalry when you play twice in a year?
I don't think so.
That's one of the reasons we say college football rivalries are better than college basketball or MLB, because there's only that one game that you play.
Let me ask you this, though. Would you say it dilutes the rivalry if Michigan would have played Ohio State last year? If Ohio State would have beat Georgia, Michigan would have beat TCU, would it have diluted the rivalry in the national championship?
No, and I was talking to this with some teammates, and we were talking beforehand about the fact that, man, it could be a Wolverine-Buckeye national championship. And keep in mind, that's what we wanted my freshman year. My freshman year was the 1-2 in 2006, and we lost to them by 3 in the horseshoe, and everyone thought, man, we should get another shot at them. Clearly, we're the 2 best teams. They decided not to give us a shot. Buckeyes go to the national championship. They lose to Florida. We go to the Rose Bowl. We lose to USC.
It never works out.
I think they got it right. Yeah. But anyway, I am happy that is a protected game, and also Michigan State. You can't not play Michigan State
Very
that
true.
year. If you're USC, you can't not play UCLA. So I'm glad they got some of these protected games in there. And for some fans who will say, man, it's kind of bad not to see Penn State on the schedule this year. It's bad to not see Wisconsin on the schedule this year. Well, guess what? You're going to see USC on the schedule. Yep. That's pretty cool. You'll see Nebraska, who's now in the Big Ten. So I think it's going to work out.
I agree. In these moments, I always go back to the great coach at Louisiana, Red Bayou. What he says, what my daddy said that was the only thing that's better than a crawfish dinner?
6
crawfish dinners. That's the way I look at it. But we can all agree the best sportsbook to bet is our friends over at DraftKings, all right? If you're able to do that, if you live that life. We already know, look, the NBA Finals, it's hot and heavy, okay? We're getting into Game 4. We're going to break that one down like Richard Simmons in one of those weird videos where he's dancing with overalls about losing weight. Yes, I can. Yes, I can, David. All right, and new customers right now, you can make a $5 bet and score $200 in free bets when you sign up with our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. We've had a bunch of people reach out who've signed up with it, who've used it. Again, I don't know what sportsbook you're using right now, but the best one is DraftKings. You need to go ahead and make your mind up, live your best life, and make great decisions. And if you're wondering what you could use that $200 in bonus bets on, try the DraftKings same-game parlays. I've been all over it, all right? Like that fat kid Brucey off Matilda on that chocolate cake with the Trunchbull, who still scares me. That's what happens when you watch that movie when you're young. All right, you can combine multiple bets from the same game into one big bet for a shot at an even bigger payout. So open the DraftKings Sportsbook app, opt in, place the same-game parlay, but before you do that, when you sign up, use that code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, because like I said, you can make a $5 bet, and you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook and only with our code BOOSTER. Say one word to describe DraftKings right now, David.
Unbelievable.
What about you? Ooh.
That doesn't count. That one doesn't.
What about you, Flaming Dragon?
You caught yourself. I'll give you that. America.
God, I love when you say that.
America!
Bow to your sensei. All right, what's going on in the Booster Club?
Go to our daily $2 donation from Cole Frank. I think we all know what this is. LeBron is mid and MJ's the GOAT. The over will definitely hit today.
Whoa.
Good Cole. I want the hate, but guess what I didn't hear? Guess what hashtag I didn't hear? That one's just faded away.
Okay, I want you to know that since you brought that up, he's going to donate and say that. I want you to know that. I'll put it on everything.
I do want to say something, too. A lot of people reached out to us the past couple days because we weren't live asking if we're okay. But yes, it's a good thing. Don't really talk about it. Just know trust tree, right? Trust tree. You're in the wing underneath it. Just believe me.
You'll be happy.
You'll be very, very happy. There's going to be a couple more times where we can't go live, but just don't freak out. Everything is fine. It's like Lars off Heavyweight said. Don't worry. Don't be alarmed. Everything is fine.
1/2 hour, 2.5 hour. Eat a chocolate bar. Invite your cigarette outside.
We're on the buddy system, buddy.
Buddy!
Got Ryan Gade, $5 donation. Appreciate it, brother. Start bench cut for you, Jake. Braves, Auburn, and hitting the under on a Flaming Dragon.
Oh, this is tough. I'm going to start Auburn. Got to. It's where the first breath of air I ever breathed was in the Auburn Opelika area.
Breathed.
Okay. See, this is the tough one. I've got a bench hitting the under on Flaming Dragon Friday. There's no way I can't.
Wow.
There's no way I can't. There's no way I can't. And I'm going to cut the Braves. But again, this is like picking kids. I don't have kids yet, but I can imagine how tough it is to pick your favorite.
Y'all look, you hate the Braves.
Shut
First
up.
off,
Stop.
First off.
What are
your
you
mouth.
talking about?
Yeah.
Don't look at me
You
pointing
have no
at
reason to
me.
talk.
You're a Rangers
Right now,
fan.
I'm going to be honest.
I do like the Rangers.
Well, I'm going to be
No,
honest.
don't say I like
You
the
become a
Rangers. You're a
Rangers fan.
fan.
You become a Rangers fan, and instantly DeGrom has to have Tommy John surgery. So
Wow.
part of that, I think, is your fault. The second thing is, this is an.
Jay kind of elbowed his way in the situation.
I didn't elbow my way in the situation.
Well,
I'm in the
well.
situation.
All right, let's go to
I am
Nathan
in the
Johnson, $5 donation. Appreciate it, Nathan. Hashtag Ask Cone. That's you. How about those Braves?
Oh, there we go again.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
If he's
exactly.
talking about them beating the Mets, I always will find joy in the Braves beating the Mets, even though I do have a new love for the Rangers. And for those first-time listeners, it's because the Rangers are the only team in Major League Baseball to not host a Pride Night. So that's something I take pride in my new team. But that doesn't mean I hate the Braves now. In fact, I'll hit a little sound effect for them.
You can't hit that button,
You know?
That's
Hey, you're
poison
slowly
for you.
winning me back.
Look at that. That shit's sick.
I said
Slowly winning
That's what I'm
me back.
saying. Like, no real fans.
It's like if I said, "Hey man, I'm
real
a
fans are
fan
here
now
for the
of
Braves.
Flaming Dragon." Doesn't mean I'm not a fan of Jake's. You know what I mean? There's room in here.
That's not even in the same realm.
I'm going to be honest. I love the way you explained that.
Let's go.
See, not even
It's
the
starting to
same
make more
realm.
sense to me. You're winning me
Fake
back.
Braves fans. We can see them right now.
First
Let's
off.
go to History Buff, $10 donation. Ask Jake. That's you, fake Braves fan. I cannot forgive college football for having more of my dad's heart than me. I learned what to put into Iraq to not call on Saturday during college football season. Wasn't worth my time.
Well, first off, thanks for your service.
Absolutely.
And, Second off, look, I come from a college football. We all do. You know, we grew up in the South. My father played college football. We played in the NFL. Let's just say when Saturday came, it was a religion in our house. I don't know another way to put it. I mean, my week revolved around what was going to happen Saturday. And if my team lost, it ruined my week. Absolutely ruined my week. But I grew up around people that it did the same thing. So it's something that we grew up loving and still love. And while it has changed and become totally not crazy, but shifting, I guess is the best. There's some good and some bad. I still love it, and the on-the-field product is as good as it's ever been.
Well, call us, buddy. We'll always call.
Yeah, we got calls
Call
here in
us.
about. I'm not a math magician, but in about 44 minutes, we're gonna start taking them. You're gonna want to call in early 1-855. Whoa, 1-855.
236.
No, yeah, that's right.
3228.
3228. No, it's not.
it's not.
Okay, it's on the screen. You can see it. Y'all can see it.
1-855-236.
It's been a couple days. I've had to fill my mind with a couple other things. That'll be
All right, let's go to Sam Giddens, $2 donation. Appreciate it,
Thank you, Sam.
Braves versus the Rangers, 2024 Field of Dreams. You start the promo here.
Yes, really, I did not know that.
I
Pick a
didn't-
side right now. Pick
You
a
know
side
what?
right now.
I've never really thought in advance what happens when these two teams play each other. Look, I still like the Braves. I still like the Braves a lot.
I knew it. All right,
Stop hosting Pride Nights.
let's get to rapid fire. But before we do, guys, you feel like it's harder to get in shape and stay in shape? We all know you do. Don't lie to yourself. Our sponsor, Nugenix Total T, is offering a complimentary bottle when you text 231-231 and enter keyword Crain. That's C-R-A-I-N. So you go to your phone computer machine. All right, you open up the text message app. All right, for the number, you put 231-231, and then you go to the message part and you type in C-R-A-I-N. Okay? Because as men age, we lose free testosterone, the man hormone. Yeah, that's right. I said it. We lose that fire. It's harder to feel as alive, as energetic, and to be as active. Remember when you were dominating in pickup basketball? Now you're like Udonis Haslem. You just take one shot a game and then go and wait for your team to try and get back on the court. It's even harder to stay in shape. Now you can get that old fire back with Nugenix. With excuse me, as I choke to death live on air. Nugenix Total T Testosterone Booster helps you turn back the clock and re-energize your workouts. It's a Benjamin Button situation. All right, they have key man-boosting ingredients like Testofen, which has been validated in 5 clinical studies and backed by years of research, like the origins of Flaming Dragon. And unlike other products that use generic ingredients, which are far less clinical grade, Nugenix Total T gives you the same potency levels. So text keyword Crain, that's C-R-A-I-N, to 231-231 for a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Text now. It's my favorite part of any ad read. I did play favorites. And you'll also get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Thermo, their most powerful fat incinerator ever. Absolutely 3. And that fat is out of here, mister.
Man, ever since Flaming started taking that, and he's transformed before our eyes.
He has. Look at him. Looks like Popeye. All right,
man.
text keyword Crain, C-R-A-I-N, to 231-231. That's keyword Crain to 231-231. And you'll be back in the game. Stop being embarrassed when you take your shirt off. All right, let's get to rapid fire.
I'm not embarrassed. I've been over 300 pounds.
That is true.
I look great.
Ooh.
I wasn't talking about you
I look
personally.
phenomenal.
I
won't argue.
Thank you. Pew.
Yeah. Rapid fire. The boy Lionel Messi, maybe you've heard of him. He's going to play in the MLS now. Yeah, he did that too. But he also kicks the ball a little bit. Football with a U.
Yes.
Inter Miami. It's not 100% done, but it sounds like Messi may be playing in the MLS. What do you
want to
think?
know how much, how famous Messi is? So, and again, it's not, the ink isn't dry, nothing's been signed yet. But Inter Miami had 900,000 followers on Instagram. 24 hours after this announcement was made that he could be coming, they had 5.7 million. It's sitting at 7.5 million. Okay, so he more than 7 times they're following. Just the thought of him signing there. Because look, they don't let Zlatan's come over here. This is kind of like the senior tour, for great European players. But Messi's different.
This is different.
Messi, to me, and now that they've won the World Cup, and look, I'm not going to sit here and say that Ronaldo's not an absolutely incredible player. He's one of the greatest players of all time. But Messi one-upped him by winning the World Cup. And it's an unbelievable move for MLS, just from a popularity standpoint. But this has staying power, okay? Now, will soccer ever become a dominant sport in America? I know there's a huge youth movement in soccer, whatever. I don't think so, okay? Even with baseball kind of declining and the craziness that's going on there right now. But this is a great step if you're going to take one. Now, the next step is Operation Petadexterity.
Yeah.
Okay, which is the plan that I've come up with to help us win the World Cup by 2032. Okay, now, they're not going to use it because they're not smart, but this is great for MLS. That place is going to be absolutely packed. We know the following that soccer has in Miami, the international and the flavor there in Miami, that people love soccer there as much as anywhere in the United States. So it's huge for MLS. It'd be crazy to say not to.
FD, Messi?
Man, this is cool, and it's really good for American soccer, I believe. And, I think Messi's just, why not? He's almost done. And how many years does Messi have left? So, he got a great contract. I'm pretty sure he's good friends with David Beckham. So I think it's a good move for him. And, hey, move down to the MIA, man. Live it up a little bit.
Think we can get him on the show? We got a translator?
He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid a good amount of money. And, man, I think it's a good look all the way around.
Well, and
he's about to kill everybody in this.
Yeah, he's going to make a lot of money. But if he does end up going through with this, the offer he has from Saudi Arabia to go over there and play, it's they're basically just going to give him an oil field.
Yeah, he ain't going to do that.
And a Ferrari made of gold.
I agree with you guys. After winning the World Cup, what is it? Just, go take whatever bag. But this is different than David Beckham and Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Yeah, it's not even close.
This is on a just completely
It's not even
level,
close.
which is pretty cool.
Beckham owns the team, right?
The Inter Miami?
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because weren't they building a new stadium? Or they
Supposed to be sick. Well, guess you
Yeah,
want to
so
know
he
a great
owns
way
it.
to
I'm
break.
pretty sure he owns
Want to
it.
know the best way to break in the stadium? Put that little witch out there and let him run around. Play games
what if,
with the children.
Now what happens when the Nashville FC gets Ronaldo?
See, here's the real question.
Huh?
Here's the real question, though, before we move on. Can we just get Messi a citizenship? Can we just make him a citizen? Look, are we really trying to win this World Cup or not? Look, you already won one for the hometown team. Why don't you come over here? We'll give you a couple glizzies, give you an American flag, teach you how to say words that matter around here.
No, Messi, I'm fine, but your son. All right,
Yes.
how long does he have to be over here until?
Has to be Italian.
Let's really get him into the American ways.
Now you're thinking,
you go to Miami. I don't know how old he is, but he's getting up there a little bit.
Well, you want to adopt,
Maybe
right? Maybe a live-in? Maybe a live-in?
Dude, you can come, yeah.
Show him the ropes?
For sure.
Come crash with me.
One
Got
trip
a
to
rug,
Broadway.
Get out. Look,
got an ice tray.
One trip to Broadway's in.
Who's going to carry the boats? You know
That's
what I'm
exactly
saying?
right.
Messi's son will.
I love it.
Barcelona president said, I understand and respect Messi's decision to want to compete in a league with fewer demands further away from the spotlight and the pressure that he has been subject to in recent years. That doesn't sound too respectful to me.
Hey, here's the thing. I don't like the way you're talking about us right now, Barcelona head guy. Watch your mouth. How about that? How about you watch your mouth? Okay. When you speak about us, you speak about us with respect.
Yeah. Keep talking. We'll throw the sun at you.
Yeah. Don't mention
Look
it again.
up. Here comes the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, walk carefully, bud.
Oh, Beatles on a Friday. Next up, NBA. We had game 4. So 2-1. Game 4 tonight. Series Denver's
About
up
this.
2-1. And on Wednesday, which we didn't get a chance to get to, the Nuggets beat the Heat 109-94 on the first game in Miami. Your thoughts?
Well, first game ever where two guys had a triple-double in the same game in the finals. They both scored over 30. You know, something we mentioned and we weren't live the past couple days to break this one down was something we talked about, and I talked about when I was going on the radio, was you're not going to hold Jamal Murray down for 3 quarters in many games, if any at all, and he absolutely went nuts. We know the Joker is going to blink twice and have a triple-double. Okay, now the question is how many points is he going to score at that triple-double? But when it came down to the Heat, we all know the way that the Heat have won, right? Team effort, team effort. Jimmy Butler hasn't gone nuts in these finals.
Nope.
I mean, he's been cut off more times than traffic in Paris. Believe me, I know. But when you watch the Heat, Gabe Vincent and Strus can't score a combined 10 points. I mean, Duncan gave you 9 points. Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry scored 9. Bam Adebayo had a great game. Jimmy didn't have a bad game at all, in my opinion. But when you look at the efficiency of Joker and Jamal Murray, one went 12 for 21. I think the other one went 12 for 22. The Heat have got to beat you, like I said, in waves. It is a team game. They beat you as a team, and Strus and them have to play well. It's very, very simple. I expect them to come back in game 2 tonight, but the bench has to carry Miami here. And you know what? If the Heat are able to win tonight, they're 3.5-point underdogs. I think they're plus 130. We're going to talk about that later when we get to bonus bets, our booster bets, later. And by the way, Briganter, your shirt is coming. We got that handled. But when I look at this game, I feel like tonight you're going to see the bench players from the Heat kind of return to form. But if you're a Heat fan, if you're a Miami fan, right, if the Heat are able to win tonight, and I would have told you at the beginning of the series, hey, it'll be 2-2. Going to Game 5 in Denver. All right, that means Game 6 will be in Miami. And if there's a Game 7, it's in Denver. You already went to Boston and won.
Yeah.
Okay, so if it goes 7, it goes 7. But I think Heat fans would have taken that. You knew the Nuggets were going to come back after the lack of effort from some guys. That was the biggest surprise to me when the Nuggets lost Game 2 at home. And it wasn't everybody, but Michael Porter Jr. was just lollygagging around. And you know Coach Mike Malone absolutely ripped them up and down. After that game, you knew they were going to come back even stronger. Jamal Murray had a much better game, but I like the Heat tonight being able to bounce back. I think you're going to see Strus. I think you're going to see Vincent. I think you're going to see the bench guys step up.
FD, Jokic, we know he's a monster, back-to-back MVPs, but 32, 21, and 10. I mean,
not surprised.
15-point victory for the Nuggets while shooting 27% from 3.
Yeah, they shot the ball bad. Especially, they haven't shot good from 3 all series. Let me tell you right this, Heat, if y'all lose this game, the series over. It's over.
No, yeah, it's
done.
It's must-win territory.
It's a must-win right now. But the thing about it, Jimmy didn't play bad yet. I mean, he basically had a 30-point performance. I mean, you'll take that. A 22-point performance by Bam with 17 boards, you'll take that. But we've always said this about the Heat. I'm not worried about those 2 guys, right? I'm worried about the team in whole, right? And when you look at the Nuggets, okay, you know what you're going to get from Jokic. You know what you'll get from Murray. That one performance was fine. Michael Porter Jr. went 1 for 7, 2 points. All right? I mean, Aaron Gordon has steady 11 points, 10 boards. He's a good piece. But there's always a name. There's always a guy that kind of shows up behind the curtains, right? You go look at Christian Braun.
Yeah.
Played 20 minutes, went 7 for 8 with 15 board.
2 straight good
right?
games in a row.
I mean, like, there's always a guy you don't think's going to do it who does it. So when it comes to the Heat, the Nuggets are a better team than y'all. I'll believe that. I'm sorry if you watched before the series started. I had this ending in 5. Okay, so I think the Nuggets win this game. All right, then I think they go home and they win this game because I just think they're a better team. And Jamal Murray, you saw Jamal Murray's hand. He's got some floor burn on his hand when you slide across the floor. It happens. But Jamal Murray's going to perform. I think the Nuggets. I think this is a 10-point win by the Nuggets easily.
Yeah. Well, remember the Heat won that game in Denver, and Jimmy Butler didn't go off. He had a great stretch late where he scored 8 points. The Heat beat you as a team. That's their DNA is. They got 7 undrafted guys, and when the bench doesn't play well, they're not going to win.
I understand 28 points. That's a
get out rebounded by 24.
But I think what you're talking about is throughout these playoffs, we've seen Jimmy Butler just go stupid. 45-plus performances.
He's been able to get to the rack
performances easy. Sometimes, and so that seems to be like he hasn't had one of those. And the Nuggets are going to say, we're going to make the rest of the team beat you. And now we have news that Tyler Hero won't be back for this
he's
game
still
at
out.
the very least.
Well, the length of the Nuggets, right? They're a big team. Michael Porter Jr., Gordon, Jokic, like they're a lot bigger than what the Heat are used to seeing. Look, and the Heat, the only way y'all going to win this game is you shoot over 50%.
Well, yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, it's the shooting. We've talked about the size disadvantages that every series the Heat have been in. We've talked about the size disadvantages, but it hasn't mattered because the Heat out-effort you to those 50-50 balls. Everybody crashes the board. I'm watching Kyle Lowry in there fighting to get rebounds, drawing fouls, getting extra possessions. This game, eventually, though, gravity does take effect, right? And the Nuggets are bigger. You're going to have these games where you get out-rebounded by a wide margin. But what's the only thing you can do to combat that? You know what? Shoot well. Because you can't get a rebound when the basket goes in. So that when the Heat don't shoot well, as a team, that's when that size, because Bam Adebayo is going to work his ass off. He's going to work and work and work and work and put up good numbers on the boards. They're going to crash the boards. But eventually, science matters. Gravity matters. Size and physics matter. So when you don't shoot well, it's going to catch you regardless of how hard you play. And I love that they play hard, but my washing machine plays hard. All right. At the end of the day, you've got to be able to make shots. This is a game. This is a game about getting buckets. That's what it is. So I'm excited to watch tonight.
That's one of the biggest things that I've noticed in this series is that when Miami gets a shot off, it really is one and done. You either have to make that shot or they're almost forfeiting the
We need a long rebound.
They're almost, yeah, and you get a couple of those, right? And I know the guys are down there trying to get rebounds, but I mean, to FD's point over there, the Nuggets are just so much bigger that Miami's just kind of forfeiting defensive rebounds. So either make that shot or else the Nuggets are going to get that rebound.
Well, why do you think they get back in transition?
But on the other end, if the Nuggets, there's more margin for error. If they miss a shot, they're able to get offensive rebounds and get second chance points.
It's like the NCAA tournament. Like sooner or later, like you can shoot well like a smaller school, but you're going to run into UConn at some point.
Yeah.
Who has trees.
Yeah.
So you either have to shoot phenomenal or you're going to get walked off the court.
That's exactly right. I agree with that 100%.
NHL. We got Game 3 yesterday. The Panthers took one on home ice 3-2 in overtime. Had to get it. First game in Miami.
Yeah, and look, I picked the Panthers to win this series. It just looks so hard for the Panthers right now. The first two games, it looked easy for Vegas. Just easy. And again, when they get hot, they get really hot. They score in bunches. Teams are like that in sports. We see it in football. We see it in basketball. We see it in baseball. We see it in hockey. But it just looks like the Panthers have to fight so hard just to be able to get into overtime and have a chance to win the game. That's what would worry me if I was a Panthers fan, is that it is, and it's not ever easy to win a game in the Stanley Cup Finals or in the NHL ever at all. But when you watch the way that the Knights have won, the game was pretty much decided early, right? You put it to bed. It was 4-0 the other night going in the third period. But the Panthers, they have to scrape and claw and give extraordinary effort, right? Extraordinary effort to even have a chance to be able to win at home. So if you're the Panthers, almost everything has to go perfect. You have to have the home ice advantage. You have to get a couple breaks. All right, that's what scares me. Now, can the Panthers win it? Yes, and they are playing with house money. They are playing with house money. Nobody expect them. I think Blaine may be the.
Hey, it's all right.
I think Flaming Dragon may have been the only one in the world that picked them to win the Stanley Cup before the playoffs even started. The only one in the world. So they are playing with house money. But damn, does it look hard for them to get anything going. It's just like, you see the guys, it's like they're just like slowly just plugging away. Like those offenses that get like 3 yards at a time, and they have to convert 6 third and ones to be able to get in the red zone. That's just what it feels like to me. One of those games where you're overmatched.
Teams. Vegas is a good team. That's what happens. But remember, this Panthers team was down 3-1 to the greatest regular season team in hockey history.
I know, David.
I would say this. The first game of this series, was extremely close. It was 2-2. I mean, it was 2-2 walking in with 4 minutes left to go in the third period, right? Just like this game was. All right, I know it went to overtime, but a win's a win if you're the Panthers. I know it doesn't look easy. I feel like the Panthers are going to win this second game. I think they're going to win by 2+ goals. All right, you kind of the same thing that happens with the Knights. Yeah, it fell apart for the Panthers late in the first game on the road. All right, you're walking in, 3 minutes left, and they hit 3 goals. One was an empty netter. You can understand if you watch that game, it was a tight game throughout. Knights are a big team. They're a physical team. They're playing extremely well right now. But in the playoffs, in the finals, a win's a win, buddy. And you got one in overtime, and that's huge. You're getting over their hump. And now mentally, you know what? We can beat these guys. Hey, we're in that locker room. If you're the coach, you ride with this momentum. I think the Panthers are going to win this next game. I think they're going to split. I think the Panthers are going to go Game 7 and take it.
Well, to me, it's not just about the goal scoring. I know we talk about them scoring in bunches because they can. Just watch Vegas play. But when you watch games, if you're really watching them, if you're really invested in them, you get a feel for how the game is going, right? You get a feel for who's able to move the ball or the puck or whatever easily, and who is just holding on, trying to get possession, trying to move it down the field or down the ice or down the court. And it's the best way I can describe it is it's when, and I always go back to my roots with college football, right, or football in general. It's like when a team is overmatched, right? Like you're playing Bama. Like let's say just Arkansas is playing Bama. I'm just using that as an example. Pretty much everybody has been overmatched when they've played Bama lately, outside of Georgia and a couple others. But every possession, you're just like, you get 6 yards on first down. You're like, oh my God, we got 6 yards. It's like, let's just don't lose 4 on the next play. And you're overmatched, and you're just hoping and knowing in the back of your mind that you are overmatched. Like eventually something bad is going to happen. And the more good stuff that goes on, like just the more anxious you get. But it's hard to explain. But you guys, y'all love sports like we do, right? And everybody's a fan of somebody. Or if you're watching a game and you're not even a fan of either team, you're watching the underdog and you're like, God, or maybe the teams are somewhat evenly matched on paper, but you're watching the game and you're realizing they're not that evenly matched. You're just waiting with bated breath on something bad to happen. Like I just get that feel watching the Panthers and the Knights. One team makes it look somewhat easy. The other one, you're just holding your breath like, don't screw it up, don't screw it up, don't screw it up.
Yeah, I think the Panthers are fine playing that kind of hockey, and they get one more at home. So I think will be a more interesting series than the.
I hope so, because again, I do think it's been good outside of the one blowout at the end.
College baseball super regionals. Got 4 matchups today: Duke, Virginia, TCU, Indiana State, South Carolina, Florida in an SEC matchup, and then Oregon and Oral Roberts. What are you looking forward to the most, guys?
Well, Duke and Virginia, the smartest game played today. There will not be a smarter group of people together that play a game today. Look, when it comes down to his pitching, right, with Duke and Virginia, I mean, Duke isn't a team that at least from what I've seen, it's been, we're going to go out slug you 12-10. They've been able to play low-scoring games. They've been able to win games with pitching and defense. And what translates, right? Defense. What translates? Pitching. Being able to hold guys down, especially in this college baseball era. But I'm sitting here looking, the parity in college baseball is fantastic. We watched Coastal Carolina win a national championship. Duke actually beat them in the Conway Regional. Earlier, Virginia's going to host this game. But I'm looking around Indiana State, who should be hosting TCU, but they're not because apparently they don't understand what a hotel is. Over there at Indiana State, in Terre Haute, whatever it is. I know the Special Olympics is coming in, and nobody is downplaying the importance of that. It's an unbelievable outlet, and it's a big deal. But y'all got to figure it out. Mm-hmm. I mean, Indiana State, you have to. Can y'all not? Is there no forward thinking there? Like, because Indiana State, it isn't like they've been a terrible program, in college baseball for a long time. So they're going to host TCU, who may be the hottest team in the country right now. Yeah. They dismantled Arkansas.
Destroyed.
Treated Arkansas like a T-ball team. Trey Richardson, who Flaming Dragon had one of his best of the weekend, absolutely went nuts there in the regional, especially at the end. But, this is what I live for here, guys. South Carolina, Florida. Mm-hmm. Come on now. Come on, South Carolina, a team that started out super duper hot, kind of fell off a cliff. Florida with the alien that is Jack Caglione. Excited to watch that one. And then Oral Roberts in Oregon. Oral Roberts, they talked their way out of the regional. Yeah, Let's see if they can talk their way out of the super regional. But again, they made it look easy, made it look unbelievably easy. So there's some great matchups tonight. And then going on into the weekend, man. Got Bama, Wake Forest. Got Kentucky, LSU, another. Stop putting SEC teams against each other all the time in the super regional. I know what you're doing. Right? We see this all the time in college basketball. Y'all set them up early. Texas, Stanford, Tennessee, and Southern Miss. David, by the way, Southern Miss is hosting that regional, not Tennessee. But the greatest irony of all time, Tennessee last year, greatest college baseball team ever, right? Basically, the Savannah Bananas out there just dancing around and dropping tanks. And this team, I think, is going to win the regional against Southern Miss and actually make it to Omaha. That's why, again, it's amazing what having a chip on your shoulder does compared to what being told you're the greatest of all time does. Because that Tennessee team last year was better talent-wise than this Tennessee team, but who's going further?
So, FD, tomorrow's games, Alabama, Wake Forest, Kentucky, LSU, Texas, Stanford, Tennessee, Southern Miss. Which one of those are you most excited?
I'm really excited watching Wake Forest dismantle Alabama tomorrow. So, I'm pretty excited about that. One thing I will say, let me give kudos to this Alabama team.
Yeah.
All right? After they went through with the season with their coach, All right, these guys have rallied, and they've rallied late, and it's awesome to see, especially these young kids, mentally what they had to go through and what they had to overcome. I think Wake Forest is one of the best teams left. I really think when it's going to come, I think Wake Forest and LSU are the best teams left. I think we're going to see LSU roll through Kentucky, and I think we're going to see Wake Forest roll through Alabama. So I'm excited about it. I'm still going with my Tigers. All right, go Tigers. I think they're going to win it all this year. A lot of great matchups, man. It doesn't get any cleaner and purer than this. So it's college baseball late. I can't wait. I'm going to be glued to my couch with as many screens in front of me, as many games I can watch at one time.
From the Matrix.
Yes, sir.
Last one, softball, Oklahoma.
Incredible.
Was it third straight national championship?
6 in the last 10, I think.
Really?
Patty Gasso.
Wow.
Again, I think that high-level women's college softball is the best women's sport there is, the most entertaining. I know what Caitlin Clark and everybody's doing in women's college basketball this year was absolutely fantastic. Down the stretch, Kim Mulkey and LSU speaking of the Tigers over there. But it is so impressive to watch a dynasty, and that's what this is right now. I mean, you look at the amount of games that they've won. It's ridiculous. I mean, they've lost like one game in the past 2 years, which, I'm not saying it's easy in any sport to do that. But there's so many variables that happen in a game of baseball, in the game of softball, sometimes that are out of your control with the way the ball bounces. To be able to dominate like this, not only during the regular season, all right, because we've seen dominant teams in the regular season not do anything during the postseason. I'll give you a great example, Boston Bruins in the NHL. I mean, you have the greatest regular season of all time, don't do anything in the postseason. They continue to come through in the postseason as well. And all you can do is just tip your hat and expect them to win 4 straight. I don't see this train slowing down, because guess what you don't have in college softball? People leaving early.
Oh.
Well, yeah, you don't. Well, not yet, at least. That's probably next. But you don't have people leaving early for a professional league. So you get people for 4 years. And who the hell's going to want to transfer out of Oklahoma? I mean, if you're a junior on the team, you've won it every year. Every single year. You got more rings than Thanos. I mean, at the end of the day,
it just takes another program to say, hey, we want that, and to invest in that sort of infrastructure. Like we saw UConn dominate women's basketball for so long. Now you have other institutions like LSU coming along saying, well, we want that. South Carolina saying, we want a program like that. Even college football, look what Alex
which is good to elevate the sport, I think.
Said. Well, University of Georgia, we would like that. Let's get Kirby Smart and let's build a similar structure.
You turn it into an arms race. That's what you turn it into. Yeah. Mo money, mo winning. Not technically mo problems in
sometimes.
This situation, but in this situation. But if you're having problems, all right, let's say you need an all-in-one commerce platform for starting, running, and growing your business because you have a great product. Well, we have the company that can help you help sell it. All right, that's our friends at Shopify. And guess what? When you hear this, congrats, you're rich. That just means you made another sale. All right, they make it easy to sell to anyone from anywhere. All right, you imagine all the resources and tools available for large businesses available to you right now. That's what you get with Shopify. I have people that have started podcasts that want to sell merch and do all these things, and they don't even know where to start. Shopify, it's not only where you start, it's where you end, because they're able to take care of it all in-house. It is a fantastic company, and you can customize your online store to your brand, discover new customers, and build the relationships that create diehard fans, and it makes it easy for them. That's what you got to do. It can't just be easy for you. It needs to be easy for them, and that's what Shopify understands. They help you manage inventory, track payments, and view real-time business insights from a single dashboard. They've built the tools you need so that you can focus on building your business. And thanks to 24/7 support and free on-demand business courses, Shopify is in your corner every step of the way. Every minute, new sellers around the world score their first sale with Shopify. So when you're ready, okay, you feel like you can do it, that you got the skills to do it. When you're ready to take your idea to the world, team up with Shopify, the commerce platform powering millions. So sign up for $1 per month trial at shopify.com/Crain. That's all lowercase. That's shopify.com/CRAIN for that $1 a month trial. Start selling online today. Shopify.com/Crain. I think I said $1 free trial. It's basically free. And when you hear that, guess what? Buy that Lambo. All right, Booster Club.
All right, first thing, Thanos had 6 rings, so, I mean, he's got some more than Oklahoma softball.
Nope, they've won 6 out of the last 10.
Well, you said the juniors have 3, so they have more than Thanos, so.
Okay, well,
Thank you.
if so facto.
Cole Frank, $2 donation. He knew this was coming. Hashtag Trader Jake.
Here we go.
USA is a lot better than France. What a loser.
Wow.
Let's go to Steve Action Figure
Wow.
Frenzy. $10 donation. Your thoughts on the Major League debut of Ellie De La Cruz? Basically hit a ball at the stadium.
Yeah.
I lost all respect for Noah Syndergaard for drilling the next batter after Ellie's first home run. That was a punk move. Well, that's baseball, dog.
Again, I always say when it comes to new guys in the league, you want to have a great debut, right? Of course, everybody wants to have a great debut. But kind of like with pitchers, okay? And there's a book that's out on you, but they haven't seen you at that level. I think the kid's going to be phenomenal. All everybody's done is talk about him on the way up, and they should, because he's a fantastic prospect. But I want to see a couple months in. How do you adjust? We see this with pitchers all the time. Guys come to the league, first 2 starts, look like Nolan Ryan. Mixed with Roger Clemens, you're like, oh my God, we have the greatest pitcher of all time. Then all of a sudden, 4 or 5 games in, they start getting knocked around, all right? Like bad. And you're like, oh, and then they have to adjust. You'll never know until that player, all right, or that coach that play calls in football, you're not going to know until they adjust to the adjustment to them, right? How do they adjust when other professionals adjust to them? So I'm really excited for him. Now, when it comes to Syndergaard hitting the next guy, look, right now for Noah in general, he's kind of really fallen off the map. I think that frustration wasn't just about the kid. I think it's just in general. Because think about it. Remember, Noah Syndergaard, Thor's hammer. He's out here, the best pitcher in the game right now. Can't figure it out. Then all of a sudden you give up a tank to the new Wonder Boy, even though you play different positions. I think it's a little bit personal. I wasn't a pitcher, okay? So I don't like guys getting thrown at. I wish he would have fought him, to be honest with you.
Did the kid celebrate around the bases or something, or was it he just hit a home run?
Nah, I think
he just hit a home run.
Yeah.
He might have pimped it a little bit. But.
And then Thor just hit the next batter on purpose, or?
Yeah. Welcome to it.
And you say that's just baseball?
Yeah.
Like, if you're like celebrating around the bases or something, if you're chippy with a guy or if something's left over from the series, before I get all that.
Well, nowadays they pimp everything.
Home runs get hit all the time. How many homers has Noah Syndergaard given up this year? Did he hit the next batter every time?
Not all the time.
No, but sometimes it's just about the situation.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to send a message, Dave.
Yeah.
And the message of fierce.
You know what?
Here's the
How
thing,
about you strike the next guy out and stop giving up homers? That might send.
I don't know.
He's trying.
Being scared.
That's my point. Maybe he didn't mean to hit him.
Yeah. Being scared to strike out's one thing. Being scared that somebody's going to hit you with a 95-mile-per-hour moving object is a totally different type of scared.
All right, let's go to Joseph Lavelle. This is just messed up, and you know it. $5 donation, and I'm creating a segment called Blaine Reed's Hockey Names. I don't want to do this.
Yes, we.
E2.
Go. You got this.
E2 Lutheran. That's so wrong.
That's not even close.
Nick Desloris.
Today, Junior.
Desloris. Aturi Laakanen. Jesse Pujajarvi. Tiovo
Yeah,
Teravainen. Yep. How about that? How about that, Joseph?
Yeah, I'm not even seeing the word and I can pronounce it.
Who cares? You're a French spy, loser. Let's go to Kyle Frick, $5 donation. Damning evidence.
Wait.
My wife's French cookbook has honey mustard glazed baked ribs.
What?
Baked ribs and honey mustard? Too coincidental. Hashtag Jake's a spy.
That right there, though, I haven't had that.
This turned
but guess
into
what? I'll eat that. Woo! Like this. Like Kobayashi. This is in international waters. All right, one more. We got to get to. We got to see who Cone's G'ing off his L today.
So this is sits weird with me every time you say that. Let's go to the Hayfords. Will y'all please, in honor of my lost fingertip, take a half second today's show to acknowledge the UFC and the tough season 31 plus Conor McGregor's absence for weigh-ins and Chandler's. Any of y'all been watching that season this week?
We have some content coming up on that, actually. Jeremy's Razors. Jeremy's Razors sponsor stuff.
Did she say a moment of silence for her fingertip?
Mm-hmm.
What happened? She lost her nail?
Well, fingertip.
Her fingertip's gone?
I'm guessing, unless that happened.
All right, hey, I need the music.
There's a story there.
I need the music real quick. I need the music. We love the Hayfords here. Look, all of us aren't whole. Some physical, some mental, Most of us are missing a piece. And right now you're missing your fingertip. And that's tough. Nobody's gonna take you serious when you point at them anymore. I don't know which fingertip or finger we're talking about the tip belongs to, but that doesn't matter. Because guess what? That's like 0.25% of you. There's still 99.75% of you, all right? And just remember, when you're pointing at somebody, even if you don't have a fingertip, there's 4 other fingers. Well, 3 fingers and a thumb, pointing right back at you. So don't fret, Hayfords. Fingertip, it's just the tip. Never forget that. What's up?
It's going to be really weird when that was just a typo.
Yeah, we're all now dumber for having to listen to that.
All right, we're going to get back to the Booster Club. But guess what? Wednesday, we weren't able to go live. We got something cooking in the kitchen. Remixed to Ignition. But we're not going to go a week. David! Without this 80-year-old trapped in a 34 or 5.
You didn't even know his age? God,
Your
deal.
35-year-old's body.
Keep going down.
22-year-old's body. And he's got the body of a 22-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Our boy David Cohn. David, who's G'ing off your L today?
PGA Tour Commissioner Jay Monahan needs to get off my lawn.
You liar.
After announcing that the PGA Tour will form a new partnership with the Saudi Arabian-backed owners of LIV Golf, Commissioner Monahan stated, "I understand that many will call me a hypocrite, and I accept that. Well, there's nothing worse I can say about you than you haven't already said about yourself." For more context, the PGA Tour is a nonprofit organization, even though somehow it makes a bunch of money. And the tour will now create a new for-profit LLC with the Public Investment Fund, which is the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia and the owner of LIV Golf. This partnership, which everyone is making sure to reiterate, is not a merger, despite the fact that all the parties are merging, will end all pending litigation, which means the PGA Tour won't have its books opened in court, which is likely the reason a deal was ultimately made. While this seems complicated on the surface, it's quite simple at the root. Saudi Arabia wanted an equity stake in professional golf. The PGA Tour wouldn't play ball. So the Saudis created LIV Golf and paid players guaranteed fortunes, even though all they really needed to do was pay players not to play PGA golf. Perhaps it was inevitable for Saudi Arabia to gain market share in American golf. But that doesn't change the fact that Jay Monahan showed a complete lack of leadership during this process and turned his back on the players who refused multi-million-dollar deals to remain loyal to the tour. Not to mention, he led the charge in criticizing Saudi Arabia for its role in the 9/11 terrorist attacks, only to turn a complete 180 this week and forget about all that faster than that chick from 50 First Dates. Now, our boss Ben Shapiro put it well when he said, "It is awkward to basically rip your potential business partners as terrorist supporters, then make a deal with them and expect no one to notice." Some are applauding this move, saying that the best players in the world will now get to play against each other. You mean just like they were doing 10 months ago? No one has been able to explain why hostile takeover by a foreign regime is good for the game of golf. Now, I remain hopeful that the game will continue to prosper despite or because of this historic moment. And at least for now, we'll still have the 4 majors to watch. But I'm convinced golf would be better served if Jay Monahan, rather than issuing a 2-page statement, would issue a 2-word statement. I resign. And on your way out, stay off my lawn.
Bars.
All right, boys, let's talk about it.
Look, all right, we want people to call in. We want to talk about everything. It's 1-855-236-3228. But here's the deal. Let's just be honest, okay? When you get to these huge moneymakers, whether it be corporations, entities, whatever, morality is a pawn, okay? Money is what matters. That's what matters. So they will use, and I thought Robbie Starbuck, our guest yesterday, said it best. I mean, they will use your own morality against you. But when it comes down to it, this is about money. Jay Monahan played, and again, whenever you start a phrase with, "I know some will call me a hypocrite," probably a hypocrite. I mean, that's just how it works. You're projecting. But at the end of the day, the Saudis went the long way around getting a stake in the PGA. That's what this is, okay? They couldn't get it on the short term, so they got it, the long way around. I don't want to hear anything else ever again from the PGA, okay, about morality or any, look, we can talk about pimento and cheese sandwiches, fathers and sons in the Masters, that's great, okay? But at the end of the day, you said one thing and you did something else. And to quote that fat guy with the glasses from The Ringer, why you talk different than you did before?
Well, so FD, this is what I found interesting. I was thinking, it didn't dawn on me until this week because I've been criticizing LIV Golf just as a structure. Because LIV has been saying, and Greg Norman, who's the face of that now, has been saying, we have a superior product and we're going to change golf forever. And a lot of golf fans are looking like, what are you talking about? Because you wear shorts on the golf course and you play 54 holes instead of 72 holes. Like, I don't understand why that's going to change golf. What I realized this week is, really, Saudi Arabia has so much money, they could have just taken and poached the PGA players and paid them fortunes to not play golf at all. And it would have done the exact same thing because here's what's interesting. We had talked about this as being PGA and LIV Golf merger. And, Rory McIlroy will play some of his statements. They're saying, well, it's not really a merger with them. Well, it's a merger with the company that owns LIV Golf. So what's going to happen to those guys? That's what I want to know is LIV Golf as a brand now done with? And this new thing, which has yet to be named, is that going to just be the PGA Tour players and the LIV golfers have to somehow find their way in? I don't know, but it's all weird.
None of this makes sense to me. The one thing I feel bad is all the guys who turn down that money.
I don't feel bad.
They offered Tiger Woods 3 solar systems to come play over there, right? And now, if it's me, you look back on it, I would have taken that money now. You kind of got screwed. You lost out on a lot. Phil's getting paid, in gold to go be average every weekend, and nobody's watching. I hate the LIV Tour. I'm on the same boat as Rory. I don't want to see your knees out there playing. I don't want to see the guy who wears the mask, little head on DJing on the first hole. All right, there's a certain level of class. There's a certain level of of this class and gentleman, just golf that I enjoy watching. It makes golf. I'm not a big Rory guy. I've never been a big Rory guy. I think he's kind of a whiny baby. He's kind of a whiny baby his whole career. But I somewhat agree with him. It's come this LIV stuff. I don't think it's a good look. I don't think it's a good fit. And I wonder, if the LIV guys weren't winning, right? Because Brooks won. Right, if they weren't winning, if this would still have happened.
Well, those are
do you think
majors.
Do you think LIV's gone?
Majors are completely separate. I know from a PR perspective, but they're their own thing, right? So you're not going to be able to keep those guys from playing in the major championships.
Well, again, why does this surprise anyone? How are the players that didn't take the money surprised? Do y'all not talk to anybody? There are people who predict this. Hell, I think Trump predicted it. In June 2022, they're going to have to merge. Here's what happened. They have they have an endless amount of money over there. What did? They started throwing money at people because you wouldn't let them get in on the ground floor. Okay, and people want money, right? They took the money. But how could you not see this coming? And as far as the class part, so you don't like the 17th hole at the Waste Management? Where everybody's screaming and there's beer showers on that 17th hole part?
No, I like that, but I don't want it to be every hole.
Oh, it's not. It wasn't every hole. Look, the LIV Tour, the most important thing that happened was not on the course. It had nothing to do with wearing shorts. It had nothing to do with the display. They didn't care about that. It was about the names they took away from the PGA Tour. That's what it was about. They could have played putt-putt in the LIV Tour.
Or nothing.
Or nothing. That's not what this is about.
Nothing.
This was about scaring the PGA so much that they had to do a deal with them. And think about the power you have, all right, when you have that type of money and they're sitting there calling you terrorists and then you scare them so bad, all right, not that you're going to blow them up, but that you're going to blow up their product, that they have to do a deal with you, all right? Not only that, but the guys who took the money on the front end, it was smart. It was smart. And we're going to play this Rory clip. And I can't stand Rory. I don't feel bad for Rory. I don't feel bad for Jordan Spieth. Just like I don't feel bad for Brian Harson. Okay? You're rich. Shut up. You made a stupid decision. But let's play this Rory clip.
You and many other golfers were offered substantial amounts of money to join LIV.
I was never offered any money.
My apologies. Should the golfers who maybe stayed loyal and turned down LIV, should they be made whole financially?
The simple answer is yes. The complex answer is how does that happen? Right? And that's all gray area and up in the air at the minute. But there's it's hard for me to not sit up here and feel somewhat like a sacrificial lamb and, feeling like I've put myself out there and this is what happens. Again, removing myself from the situation, I see how this is better for the game of golf. There's no denying that. But for me as an individual, there's just going to have to be conversations that are had.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with the sacrificial lamb part because he put himself out there and he remained loyal, and Jay Monahan was disloyal to him. But on the first part, if you weren't offered any money from LIV Golf, then why should you be made whole?
Yeah. Now here's the. Why have to pay you for loyalty? See, this is the problem nowadays. Oh, you didn't leave me. Oh yeah. So when I'm gonna go home now? I'm gonna go home now to my wife. Read, be like, hey, here's $100 for just not leaving me today, for being loyal. No, guess what? You had a chance to make a business decision, and well, you didn't, but the other guys did, and some of them took it, and some of them didn't take it. In the stock market, all of a sudden the stock goes down. I don't have somebody calling me and saying, "Oh, hey man, well, thanks for not jumping ship and going to another financial advisor. I'm just going to pay you all the money that we lost in the stock market."
It's funny you talk about stock.
That's not how it works.
That's how I see this, as a legitimate hostile takeover. When you have a corporation and you offer so much money for it that the shareholders basically, they would make such a profit that the board has to accept that. This is kind of like an indirect hostile takeover.
That's exactly what it was.
So much money that Saudi Arabia wants to throw at professional golf in order to be involved in the game that eventually Jay Monahan's just like, what else is there to do? You know, and maybe it would have happened to any commissioner, but this was just a poor lack of leadership.
You're better off just not saying anything. You're better off just saying, hey, it's a situation, we're monitoring it, we're going to do what's best for the game of golf. You don't call them terrorists. Okay, that's not a good negotiating position to be in. Like, you've already put yourself in. You can think that personally. That's fine. That's your prerogative. You can think that personally. But you got to be smarter about business. Jay Monahan knew what was going on. You think Jay Monahan didn't know what was going on? He was like, oh, well, man, this is just out of left field. Like, somebody called him one morning and was like, hey, the Saudis are starting their own tour. Like, no, you don't think that these people talk. That's what I find hilarious.
I don't think if you're the PGA, you didn't have to do this. I really don't think you did. I think the LIV was trash. How many holes of golf did y'all watch LIV?
Yeah, none.
None. Zero. I had no desire at all. Watched the hell out of the PGA. Nobody watched the LIV Tour. So I think you didn't have to do this. I think in the long run, you'd have been better without this. I think you still have your key guys, your core guys that you need in the PGA, and the younger crowd's going to come into the PGA. So I think the LIV would have faded away. Most of your guys are older. You do have some good young people.
So you just said wait them out.
Yeah, for sure.
Said wait a minute.
That's what everybody thought was going to happen. That's why this was the most historic
well,
day in golf in our lifetime.
Well, speaking about waiting, if you're tired of waiting ages for your grill to heat up, now you can say goodbye to those tedious moments of impatiently watching the charcoal burn and say hello to instant barbecue perfection thanks to our new friends at Grill Blazer. Hold the gun up. Now, somebody took the propane tank out of the studio. Best believe we're going to find out, and flaming's going to burn their house down, all right? Because we can't shoot the flamethrower right now.
No, I don't want it.
We're very upset about it, all right? But Grill Blazer's grill guns are designed to do everything from expertly searing your meats to lighting charcoal grills, wood stoves, outdoor fireplaces, and just about anything you can think of that you need high-powered fire to solve your problem. And honestly, it's super cool, all right? We don't know another way to explain it. And they offer 2 types of grill guns. Okay, the Grill Gun Basic is a high-powered propane torch designed to light charcoal and wood grills and smokers. Burns up to 3,600 degrees. Okay, its 30-inch flame is for anything you need a big bad torch to do. And the SUV gun has a shorter barrel for crowd control. Perfect for professional culinary kitchen uses, from gently caramelizing brulee, or I don't know, baked ribs, or other sugar/fruits, to rapidly searing steaks outside the grill. Using the grill gun may result in extreme grill envy from your neighbors. They're going to be looking, all right? And they're going to be trying to keep up with the Joneses, or whatever your last name is. And increased demands for barbecue parties, which is a great thing, most American thing I've said in the last 2 weeks. So get your grill gun from Grill Blazers today and let the grilling adventures begin. Visit grillblazer.com and use promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, for 15% off your order. That's grillblazer.com. Promo code BOOSTER for 15% off your order. And every time he hits a button, I just hear that Light It Up song. Light it up.
Man, these things are awesome.
They really are
My
awesome.
brother Todd's all
Don't worry,
about
we're getting the propane tank back.
My brother Todd's all about the sous vide action right now. Maybe I'll get him the sous vide gun.
I love it. Yeah. I love it. All right, ready for calls?
Let's do it. Calls. You ready?
Calls.
First one up. Kirk from Canada.
Of course.
Kirk, what's going on, man?
Skyhook?
Kirky?
Kirk? Are you
Kirk?
live?
I'm here.
Hey, bud.
Yeah, sorry. Oh, what a game last night! You guys catch that Bobrovsky performance or what?
Yes, sir.
Dude, again,
Yes,
it was,
sir.
but Kirk, do you understand what I was saying earlier? I don't know if you caught through about the NHL. It seems like everything is so hard for the Panthers in this series, right? It seems like it's like in a war, you're having to take like every inch just slowly. You can't just run through them.
That's what's going to make hoisting the cup that much more sweeter.
Talk
boys.
to him. Talk to him.
5 teams have come back down 2-0. 48 teams have not. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think they got a chance if Bobrovsky plays like he did in Game 3.
Yeah, he's going to have to, right? Again, what before the series, I said that in order for the Panthers to win, it needs to be somewhat low-scoring, scrappy, physical, ugly, goalies playing well, guys taking puck, giving their bodies up, which is what we've seen. They win 3-2 in overtime last night. I don't see them winning games 5-4, Kirk.
Yeah, I would agree with you. I would agree that goal that Matthew Tkachuk scored with like 2 minutes left. That's a classic NHL playoff goal when you're down by 1. It looked like Ryan Smith, the old Ryan Smith, and they're just crashing and banging and taking the cross checks in the crease until you get to put it in the net. That was
Somebody's got to do it.
Kirk, who are the other 5 teams to come back from 2-0?
I don't know, man. I didn't do that much digging.
He dove deep, but not in Mariana's
Monday and
trench.
make sure you have that data for us.
I know one of them was the Toronto Maple Leafs in 1942.
That is
And I know that one of them was Sidney Crosby. Sidney Crosby did it once against the Red Wings, but the other 3 I'm not sure. But don't forget, boys, Bobrovsky's won 2 Vezinas in the last 10 years. And only like 7 players in the last 50 years have won 2 of them as the league's best goalie. So
no doubt Hall of Famer? No doubt?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially if he hoists the cup, that'll lock it in for sure. Definitely. And whoever did Blaine read hockey names, I actually laughed out loud. That was like one of the funniest things I've heard.
Hey, we need to
Burn
do
that footage.
We may just start a segment called "Read This, Blaine," and where he had.
There it is! Kirky, my guy! Kirky, my guy! You came in hot. Hey, hit the graphic again. Hit it. Come on! Come on! USA! USA! I'm a dragon, dog.
Who took my player prop?
God, Kirk, I love you, dude.
I haven't
hooking you out of there,
haven't been tricked this bad by Canada since Gordon Bombay's second team.
Oh, that's I feel bad. But hey, take that silver dollar that your grandfather gave you on your 12th birthday and put it on the Panthers to win Game 4, boys.
All right, Kirk. Thanks, buddy.
I love to hear it, man. Thanks for calling in.
David, I apologize.
Hey, it's okay.
Look at me.
Yes!
I'm sorry.
We'll get him next week.
But that'd be a great,
Yes!
That'd be a great segment name, right?
That would be, yes. Now, no more segment ideas, please. Matthew in Greenwood. What's going on, Matthew?
Gonna be sick.
What's up, guys? Heartbroken Hog here.
Oh, what's up, man? I'm heartbroken too. Just first off, the Hayford's fingertip.
I don't actually watch baseball, but I will take some responsibility and apologize to you guys for the money you lost betting on us in the regional.
Yeah. Twice.
Yeah, man, I'm going to be honest. Look, and you got to give credit to TCU, right? I mean, the way they hit the ball, but it just seemed like, and the second game was a little bit different. But, I mean, you give up 14 runs in, 3 innings? I mean, 2 grannies to the same guy who hit 2 home runs the whole year in the first 2 innings. And look, Fayetteville, Baum Walker, it's incredible. The atmosphere was nuts. It just seems like Arkansas got jumped and couldn't recover.
Yeah, it was really miserable. I thought they might get that second game. It looked early on like they might pull it out, but then those later innings, TCU just blew them up.
Bullpen, man.
But I had a trade idea in the NBA I wanted to bounce off you guys and a show idea.
Please.
So I think for the Boston Celtics, I think they should try to trade Marcus Smart for Chris Paul. I think that would be the perfect thing. It would be like a system shock for Jason Tatum. I think he could really help him take the next step in being that superstar who would get after it late in games and be more about getting his shot like he needs to.
Well, let me ask you. Let me ask you this, Matthew. Like, to me though, when I'm watching Tatum, he's late in the series, right? Late in games, late in the series, he's getting to his spots. He's just not making the plays. My question is, do you think CP3, just from a IQ ball handling standpoint, because Marcus Smart, I mean, from a passing, I know he can get turnover prone. We've seen it. It seems like the whole Celtics team can get turnover prone. But do you think getting rid of one of the best defensive guards who has shown the ability to help Tatum and Brown get to their spots, for CP3, who's, kind of the sun is setting on his career, pun intended, you think he's got enough left in the tank to help Jason that much?
Well, I think when you look at Derek White and Malcolm Brogdon, I think you could kind of save Chris Paul for the end of the season, and then you could play him more in the playoffs, and he could fix a lot of those turnover issues that they have late in games.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's CP3. You can say what you want. He doesn't turn the ball over. That's one thing.
Yeah, and I think Marcus Smart, from a defensive standpoint, didn't even play close to the level that he's played in recent years. So I think this would be a good fit. It feels like the Celtics are missing another piece, right? And I would say Tatum hadn't shown up in Game 7s, right? And in Game 6s, he's played phenomenal. And most of the time, he dropped 30-plus points in the Game 6 against the Heat. So I feel like the Celtics need to do something.
Well, Game 7 against Philly, right? Isn't that when he broke the record?
Yeah, Game 7 against Philly, he played well.
I'm talking about in conference finals or NBA finals. That's what I'm talking about. Like at the end of the end of the end. I'm not talking about the first round of the playoffs. I'm not talking about a play-in game. I'm talking about when it mattered. And look, Jaylen Brown disappeared this year too. But remember, 2 years ago, Jaylen Brown was kind of the horse late in the game that was able to put him through. But that's interesting. But don't be too heartbroken too long, because I do like what Sam Pittman's cooking back, and I think you guys are sliding under the radar a little bit with KJ and them.
Thank you, Matthew.
Yeah, I do too. But for next week, I would love if you guys did a segment on you guys each coming out with your top 10 all-time college football players. And Flaming Dragon, if Tim Tebow is not even in your top 10, I swear to God, we're going to have problems.
Get him.
I don't want to break that heart even more, but I can tell you right now, his ass ain't going to be in there.
Wow, that's nuts.
Oh, my God.
See, that's pure, like, you know
He
what?
ain't going to be in there.
Okay, we'll handle that
I can
later.
name you 10 players right now that you would agree that are better than him.
Do it.
Okay. Cam Newton.
Love you guys. Have a good Friday.
Love you too,
Matthew.
brother.
Oh,
Appreciate
okay.
it. Go ahead.
We'll do it next week.
Oh, we'll do it next week.
Yeah.
We'll do it.
Trace in Alabama, what's going on,
Trace.
What's going on?
What's up, brother?
I wanted to. How about them Braves?
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Hey, how about Ozzy Albies?
They're not even Braves fans.
First off, why would you even say that
Don't make
to
me
me?
hit the sound.
They're
I
not
haven't
even
said
Braves
nothing.
fans. No,
I'm
because
sa-
you just glorified Cone, who switched, become a Rangers fan after he gave compliment about the Braves.
I didn't glorify him.
You are literally putting Cone on a pedestal for being a traitor.
No,
You stay over there. We're having a moment with
He's gonna
Trace.
accuse everybody.
We're
You
having
know
a
who
moment with
accuses-
Trace, Yankees fan.
You know who
It blows my
Yankees
mind.
fan.
You know
You
the-
can't go for multiple teams
Yes, you
in the
can.
same league.
You
They're
know,
not in the
here's
same
no.
league.
Here's it.
They're
They're in the MLB.
National American.
You know who accuses everybody when somebody accuses everybody being a traitor? That means you're the traitor.
Projection.
Right? Everybody's a traitor to
Yankees
you.
fan.
See, Booster
You
Club
just call
knows. I don't have to
everybody
say
a
anything.
traitor.
The
That's
Booster
he's
Club
got
knows.
one move. That's
The Booster
it.
Club knows.
Trace.
Just absolutely on fire right now. He's just firing to the sun.
Hey, he didn't. He was 0 for 4 into that 3-run homer.
Hey, no, but look back at the last. I got him on my fantasy team. He is saving my life over the past 6 days. Him and Austin Riley's been pretty hot too. But again, if you're gonna go 2 for 4, 3 for 5, 3 for 4, and then go 1 for 5 with a 3-run tank to win the game in the 10th, I'm gonna take that against Major League pitching.
We'll take that. And against Tommy Hunter, that used to pitch at Alabama too.
I know, right? I didn't realize. To be honest with you, Trace, I didn't realize old boy was still in the league. Like, I didn't realize he was still in the league, to be honest with you. I mean, he's been in for a while. Tommy Hunter is old school SEC baseball, like when the bats were different.
Oh yeah. And what about and look at the Marlins? What they're doing right now? They got guys. They got a line. Their lineup right now is raking.
Well, is this the year? I mean, let's be honest. When you look around Major League Baseball, outside of the Braves, in the NL East, and I know that the Marlins are in the NL East. I mean, let's scan real quick. The Rays and the Orioles are in second right now. I know the Orioles had a lot better year last year. Love Adley Rutschman, by the way. Speaking of my fantasy team, you got the Twins leading the Central. You got the Rangers, even though DeGrom's got Tommy John now, leading the West. They're up 5 games over the Astros, and we're 61 games in. I mentioned the Braves, the Brew Crews out in front in the Central, and the Diamondbacks. I know they're only up 1.5 games over the Dodgers, but let me say this again. The Diamondbacks in the NL West are leading the Dodgers 61, 62 games in. Trace, it's upside. It's Stranger Things in Major League Baseball right now.
Yeah. I don't see the Diamondbacks holding on to that lead, though.
No way. There's no way they do. But I mean, I don't see the Rangers holding on to that lead. But the fact that, I mean, we're not 2 weeks in anymore.
Rangers will hold that lead.
Rangers
will hold that
lead.
Well,
we'll see. We'll put some cash
Did you
on
say
that.
the Orioles had a better season last year?
No. The Orioles had a better season last year than what people thought.
Okay.
Like they thought, again, it was cellar dweller, whatever. They came on at the end. I mean, there was talk going into the trade deadline that they were going to make some moves to try and make a run at the thing. But I love how young they are. But Trace, man, I'm excited to see how this plays out, man.
Me too. But I could see the Astros coming back in their division as well.
Yeah, I would put money on the Astros and the Dodgers to come back and win their divisions. It's just taking and I know Altuve, had been out and things like that. It's just taking a little bit longer for Houston with Verlander gone. But right now, Trace, I'll throw a question back at you. I mean, the Astros are kind of looking pretty clean with the way Verlander's been throwing for the Mets. If you really want to be honest about it.
Oh yeah. They went ahead and dropped him off and let the Mets. I'm glad they dropped him off to the Mets when he's on the decline.
I know, right? Look, it never hurts my heart watching the Mets falter. It's where great players go to die.
What did Chipper say? What did Chipper Jones say? He said he loves smashing the Braves, and he loves watching the new squad today bash them.
Oh yeah, dude, it's great. They own them. Like the Mets they just can't get over the hump. It's like a dog that's not fixed. Definitely.
I loved him getting back at Pete Alonso too after him chirping in the dugout.
Yeah, I mean, look, Pete Alonso is a home run derby player. Let's not make any, And I do like Polar Bear. I like that, but come on, he's a home run derby guy. He's like in the NBA, he's a slam dunk contest guy. That's it. But Trace, we appreciate. Real quick,
Cone, can I get that? Can I get the Braves sound while I head off?
You want a little sound, Trace? I got something for you. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Yes. Very excited. Very excited. Man, how are the Yankees doing? Oh, wait, let me look again. Oh, man.
Well, the whole AL
that's
East.
fine. At least I'm not a fake fan.
The whole AL East is
I've been
looking
embracing
good.
my whole life.
I'm not a fake fan.
Been a whole lot.
I can always have peace on the inside knowing I'm not fake.
I mean, it's. I do got to give the AL East credit, though. I mean, when your worst team's 31-32,
Yeah.
it's pretty good. I mean, look at the Central. Their worst team's 18-44. The Royals are peasants.
Appreciate it, Trace. See you, man. All right, let's go to Cody in Illinois.
Cody.
Build a
I
house.
know what it's time for.
All right. Who's ready to play Guess That Franchise?
Let's do
Hey,
it.
I want to guess that franchise.
All right. I will be reading you guys a series of clues about a specific professional franchise, and you guys are going to guess what franchise it is. And once again, I'm going to ask you guys not to use any electronic devices.
Don't use any electronics.
Wait.
Lightning Dragon.
All right.
All
Taking
right.
pictures of the donuts.
So
Smart man.
their first year played 1972. Now, with major relocations and name changes, they've had none. But early on, they did like a Florida Marlins, Miami Marlins name change. But nothing major.
Okay.
And then they did play in a precursor league. And in their current league, they have played in 7 championships. They've won 5 championships, and they have had the league MVP on their roster 12 times.
Whoa.
What franchise is it?
I didn't hear a word he just said. Can y'all throw it back at me?
5 championships.
Okay.
1.
Started in 72.
Started in 1972. They had like a small name change.
Should you give us a sport?
No.
No.
We have to guess from one of the.
It's got to be NFL, right?
Does it?
But he went NFL
Who has
last.
had a 12? No, it has to be like hockey or something, doesn't it? 12 MVPs? Is that what you said, Cody?
12 MVPs.
Well, what?
12 MVP.
Well, basketball. What about basketball?
That's what
They
I'm
have
thinking
12
here.
MVPs.
That's
in
what I'm thinking
basketball.
Okay. Went and through a name change.
It's not Chicago, right? They wouldn't have.
They were in a precursor league.
No. God, this is ABA. So
yeah, and I don't know much about like the ABA situation.
ABA.
Come on, old heads.
Come on.
I know the Lakers used to be in Minnesota.
No, but see, that's too drastic of a name change. She said like Florida and Miami, so it's like in the same state. Just am I barking up the right tree right there, Cody?
Yes. They never necessarily moved.
Okay, all right. It's basketball. It's basketball. It's got to be like Wilt Chamberlain or no. That's before 72.
What did the Golden State Warriors used to be? Were they always the Golden State Warriors?
No.
They were the Warriors.
But were they always the Golden State Warriors? That's my question, because they've had some.
But they came in the league past 72. They've been in the league since 72.
Okay.
No, that's not true.
What?
I think you're right.
What did they used to be, though? Come on.
Seattle Supersonics?
No.
This is Cody. You
look this up because Chris Webber played on the
Yeah.
back in the day.
They were the.
How many has Steph in them?
You had the Washington Bullets that aren't there anymore.
Okay.
What were they?
72. Played in a precursor league. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas.
Let's say that franchise. You want to go with that franchise?
Yeah, I think so, right? I don't know what were they Golden State though?
I don't think they're Golden State.
12 MVPs, though, is a lot.
Yeah, like who's got 12 MVPs from there? To me, I feel like it's either going to be like this.
Cody.
Celtics have always been the Celtics, though, right?
Is it the Philadelphia Warriors?
No, because they wouldn't have moved.
It is not. So the Philadelphia Warriors moved to Golden State, or moved to San Francisco, became the San Francisco Warriors, then became the Golden State Warriors. So they did have a major relocation.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. And they don't have 12.
Barking up the right tree, though. Barking up the right tree.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the league, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
All right. It is the NHL.
It is the NHL.
And then from there, I'm kind of lost.
The precursor league was the WHA.
Was it? God, I feel like it's the Red Wings.
Were they not an original team?
No, they were an original team.
Were they?
Is it Milwaukee?
Milwaukee what?
What team? They don't even have a team, do they?
Man, I don't know.
What did the Ducks? The Ducks went to what were they before Anaheim Ducks? Were they always Anaheim Ducks?
All right, I'm going to give you guys a quick clue. Let's focus on the 12 league MVPs.
Okay, Gretzky, right?
I'm not going to know hockey.
Give it to us, Cody.
Give it to us.
All right, stick with Gretzky. Who did Gretzky come in the league with?
Oh, they played for the Kings, the Oilers,
it has to be Edmonton.
Because he came in with Edmonton, right?
Yeah, it has to be Edmonton. Edmonton.
Did they have a name change?
So it is the Edmonton Oilers, and they started as the Alberta Oilers, and they played between Edmonton and Calgary, and then by 74 they were the Edmonton Oilers.
Okay,
God, Cody,
all right.
That was a good one. Cody, that was a good one.
Okay,
dang it!
Championship.
And then since the time went long, we will do Cone stats for NCAA 07 on another day.
Yeah.
Yes. Hey, make sure. Hey, call in Monday, Cody, if you can. Call in Monday and give us your stats.
Hope I'm balling.
Hopefully, he played better than he did against Vanderbilt, because everybody's really disappointed in his freshman debut. All right, I'm heading over who do we got?
No, everybody at Nighthawk, Kendo, everybody on the line. Y'all call in Monday.
Guys, call in Monday and say Pongo. You happy?
Yeah.
All right, say Pongo. Go to the
say
front of the line.
Flame Dragon overhit today.
Say Car Ramrod.
Pickle feet's not a thing.
All right. Donos while I'm walking up here.
Okay, yes. All right, let's see if I have to pull out my phone. I'm going to, but I'll get to these first. Cole Frink, $2 donation. Trader Drake, who's sitting to your right, say it.
Butt face.
That was just weird. All right, let's go to Watchtower, $5 donation. I'm 26. My 3-year-old is a lefty. Do you guys think that goes against him for the future if he wants to play QB like his daddy?
Look, not QBs. You just root for Tua, okay? Root for Tua. But here's what I'd be doing. It's pretty simple. All right. I'm giving him a baseball, and I'm saying go out there and get it. All right. Because while you may not have the advantage playing quarterback, the lefties on the mound, they love them. All right. It's another Thanos reference, like finding an infinity stone. You're going to get the benefit of the doubt. That or some golf clubs. It's the best advice I can give you.
Give me the great $20 donation. Someone may have said this already, but how about them Braves?
How about them?
A lot of Braves love it.
How about them?
Let's go to Trevor Sage, $5 donation. What does Mac Jones have to do to secure his job next year? It's tough to set the bar when you're trying to keep up with Ferraris in a Civic.
Yeah, but that's exactly right. He needs help. Again, the NFL, you cannot do it by yourself. They've got to put weapons around him to help them. Everybody's not Tom Brady, okay? Tom Brady did less with more than Charmin Ultra, okay? But at the end of the day, that's an unfair standard, and Mac needs more help. That's why I thought they'd make this a move for D-Hop. Do whatever they could to get him. I know he's kind of on the back end, but he's still a good player. They need help at the skill position, and they haven't helped him. Now, is Mac the greatest quarterback ever? No. Is Mac good enough, I think, in the NFL to be effective with weapons around him and not screw it up and help elevate guys? Yes, but he needs help.
I think he has. He's going to have some good pieces this year.
Yeah, but we're talking about New England, right?
Devontae Parker,
Bowls, right?
Devontae Parker.
It's
extremely good player. Juju Smith-Schuster.
Come on,
good
man.
player.
Juju hadn't done anything.
I want to hear it. Everybody gassed this dude up at the Chiefs.
I didn't gas
Everybody gassed him. You gassed him up.
I gassed up Juju.
Yes, you gassed him up at the Chiefs.
That's a bald-faced lie.
100%.
Good. Find the tape where I gassed up Juju.
They picked up Keyshawn Butte, who we'll see how he turns out into the league.
Don't trust him.
Kendrick Bourne, a good player. You have Hunter Henry, a tight end. Obviously not good enough to go win you a Super Bowl, I don't think. But I don't think Mac Jones is good enough to win you a Super Bowl.
Well, we don't know yet because he hadn't been surrounded with pieces. Put Mac Jones on the Dolphins. Watch what happens.
I don't think it'll be anything better than what Tua does.
I think it would be. At least he'll play the season.
At least
he'll play.
Healthy. He stays healthy.
Yeah, well, we'll see. If anything, the Dolphins need to get offensive linemen. Let's go to Cole Frank, $2 donation. FD, I called the over. Great performance, Cole. Great performance by you two.
Y'all should thank
great performance by you two.
Blame Canada.
$5 donation. Don't even have a name on here.
Anonymous?
But I'm going to call you Craig. All right. Flamin' Dragon, would you be a fan of LIV golf if at the turn the golfers had to fight Tim Tebow? Bet your ass, buddy.
All right, hold on real quick. Let me remember our booster bets are brought to you by DraftKings. Download the app right now and sign up with our code BOOSTER. That was really funny. BOOSTER, because new customers can make a $5 bet and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Kapow! Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER. All right. Today, here's what I got. By the way, y'all got to drop some serious bets this weekend to catch up. But I got the Heat money line plus 130. They have to have it. They have to have it. And then Max Strus didn't really show up. Gabe Vincent, not even close. Tonight they do. Give me Strus 14 plus points, rebounds, assists. This is a stat combo. And Gabe Vincent 18 plus points, rebounds, assists, another stat combo combined to make the super stat combo. That's going off at plus 200. So plus 200 for the stat combo, a dirty plus 130 for the Miami Heat tonight. Need it after winning last month, which everybody's excited about. No, they won't stop talking about it. God's kind of punishing me this month early, but remember, the real ones break late. Went 2-0 yesterday. It can get a little emotional.
All right, I'm going to take Novak Djokovic in the French Open semifinals money line plus 165. Getting Djokovic in the plus money. Hold
on. Djokovic against who?
Yeah, he's playing Alcaraz.
Heaven's Army?
No, he's playing Alcaraz. Really good on clay. The new Spaniard since Nadal's out. But I'm going to take Djokovic in the plus money there, and then I'm going to take the Denver Nuggets money line minus 165. Sorry, bet enemies today.
Bet-enemies?
Bet-enemies.
Call me Eric. What do you got?
All right, I'm going to take. Will your son chill out, dude? It's just like,
what do you do?
I'm trying to win a month, bro, and I always have to deal with your son at the end of it. It's just not fun. Give me Jamal Murray. I'm going back to the well on this one. First basket of the game is plus 650. Jokic, get your big Serbia ass to jump up there and get that tip. Then give me both to score in the first minute.
I like this bet.
Yeah, you're going to have a quick score. Whoever gets the ball first, I feel like they're going to show up early. That's going off at plus 170. I'm 9-11 right now. I need this to change.
Okay, good. I didn't know how you were going to end that.
Ace, he's going to take Alexander Zverev money line, he said, minus 115, and then TCU baseball money line, minus 165.
Wow, the fact that he can pronounce that and Blaine can't pronounce hockey players is amazing.
Yeah.
That's absolutely amazing.
How that works.
All right, real quick, back to you.
All right, let's go to Did I miss anything donation-wise? I don't think I did. Let's hop into the Daily Wire chat. Who is Ryan MCC? Everybody asks. Gretzky originally played with the Indianapolis Racers of the WHA.
Who'd you call racist?
The Indianapolis Racers. Then Edmonton. True story, his first professional goal was against the Oilers.
Really?
How about that?
Did not know
Learning
that.
all sorts of stuff today.
I'll tell you what.
Pat says, all hail the D-backs. Worst record in baseball 2 years ago.
I know.
Yeah.
The turnaround nobody's talking about.
Incredible.
Zoolander.
Let's go real quick. Who's Ryan MCC? Speaking of fires, does Buck Showalter need to be fired into the sun?
How many? Buck Showalter, I just feel like he's been catching baseball for 130 years.
Man.
Like when you think of like what a Major League Baseball manager looks like you look at a picture of Buck Showalter, you're like, it's like Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Like you. Yeah.
Yep.
Him right there.
100%
Him right there.
correct. All right, Paul.
Paul.
What's the best way to start your day? All right. A cold shower? A cup of coffee? Or a solid workout?
If you psychos put a cold shower,
It's not
I'm calling
fun.
the cops.
It's not fun, but I'm living my good life, living my best
you're
life.
still doing it?
What's the other options after cold shower? I blanked out and got PTSD.
Cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Or a solid workout?
Okay. Coffee. They said coffee.
Had to, right?
They said coffee. 41%.
I'm going to say coffee 42%.
All right, a cold shower, 14%.
Hey.
Okay,
right.
I need to know the
Hey.
names and addresses of everyone who did that.
Yeah, go arrest him right now.
Yeah, please.
A cup of coffee, 56%.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
workout, 30%.
Yeah.
Lazy
You knew
asses.
that was a layup there. That was
Good show today, fellas.
Yep. Good job, chat. Thanks for
Yeah,
the
it was
donuts.
fun.
Cole, I hope you have any money left. You're the
Cole,
man.
you are the man.
You are the man. Even though you accuse me of things that I'm not.
You're a traitor.
I appreciate
and
that.
a spy.
I'm not a traitor. You're a spy traitor. So
You're
how about
spy
that?
kids right now. 4.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you're a spy guy.
Good one.
No, that's actually real. That's I think it's on Super Smash
These
Bros,
insults
right?
aren't so great.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, appreciate that, PJ.
Anytime.
Of course. So glad you're back. Love ya. Anyways, appreciate you guys. Remember, there will be a couple days here and there that we don't go live because we're working on some. It's a good thing.
Some in the works.
It's a good thing, not a bad thing. So we had a bunch of people worried because you love us and we love you. That's what the trust tree is. And you're under the wing. And I blew it today on Flaming Dragon Friday. I would like to apologize to everyone, including my wife. But most importantly, my colleague here who pitched another perfect game.
Hey, that's okay. Next week.
Sorry.
We'll get him next week.
We like the chances of Unner hitting on a Flaming Dragon Friday.
Going, gone. Look at my pro-